still employed, which he shouldn't. He shouldn't be in charge of cadets. Alright, hey YouTube, it's me again. And today I wanted to give you guys a story time about why I left my previous college. And the previous college that I was at was the United States Air Force Academy. I wanted to share my story because at the end of the day, it's my story. And I feel like maybe what I went through could help someone else either get through what they're going through, help someone understand what they're getting into before they get into it, or help them in any type of way, however you do what you want with this. But I just wanted to share my experience and why I left the Air Force Academy. Alright, so I want to start by saying, like, I don't have any hard feelings, but I am definitely disappointed in the leadership. So the reason why I left, I guess I could just skip to why I left and then go through the entire story. I left because my leadership failed me. My air officer in charge of the squadron that I was in at the time, he was major, I think. He promoted to lieutenant colonel. What's his name?
A few moments later. 5 minutes later.
Dylan J. Monaghan. He was the guy in charge of my squad, in charge of however 50, 70 cadets. It was like 70 to 100 cadets in that squad. And at the time I was I was an IC athlete, so that means I was an intercollegiate athlete. My sport was basketball, and I was going to practice. So I had athletics on my plate, I had school on my plate, and then I also had military responsibilities. And all three of those during sophomore year, especially because sophomore year is known to be hardest academically, it was tough. Like waking up early in the morning, going to like morning accountability formation, then going to classes, then right after that, noon meal formation, going to lunch. Then after lunch, you go down to practice. You might have like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour in between if you don't leave early to go down and either put in extra shots, go get your treatment or whatever you need for your, physical therapy, whatever. Or whatever reason you feel like you need to head down to the gym, you may get 45 minutes to an hour to yourself. That's it. And then you have to go and practice from how long we practice from maybe like practice, or sometimes it wouldn't even be practice. Sometimes we would just be watching film, but you're still required to go down there for for team needs type thing. So we'd get down there maybe around 1 o'clock and then not come up. We would be down at the gym, and then we wouldn't come up to like the dorms, the hill, until like maybe 6:30, 7. You eat dinner. You gotta take a little time to relax, so that's about an hour. So say we get up there at 7. We finish dinner at like 8. Relax a little bit. You go to the library, you gotta study. So you got, how many classes we had? So we had around 20 credit hours each semester. They were loading our schedules up, and it wasn't with easy classes either, y'all. Like, it's a STEM based school, so we're taking, my freshman year, I took chemistry 1 and 2. I took computer science. I took calculus 1 and 2, I think, freshman year. Sophomore year was tough. I had to take physics, engineering, mechanics. What else I had to take? Mind you, I'm not a science major. The major that I am currently now at the school that I'm at is nursing. They didn't have nursing at the Air Force Academy. They had behavioral science with the pre-nursing track. So that was as close as I could get to nursing. Now, why did I go to the Air Force Academy if I was a nursing major? 17-year-old me didn't know what I wanted. I was an athlete. I was getting recruited by different schools, and like in my head, like the Air Force Academy compared to the other schools was like the best choice. Like it just looked better You know, I was like, at the end of the day, oh, if I go here, I'm going to be successful type thing. And now, fast forward, like I know that it's all about the drive. It's all about what you want. You can literally create your own opportunities. You can make the best out of whatever situation you're in type thing. And I didn't need a school. I didn't need the Air Force Academy on my record to show how great I am. But at the time, that's what I was thinking. So anyway, dang, that got me off track. But fast forward my situation, like where things started to go downhill. It's not like, oh, I got to the academy and like 2 weeks later I was,
I hate it here. I want to go home.
like, oh, this shit is tough and it's not for me. Like, it didn't register type thing until like it started mentally messing with me and like emotionally messing with me too. So I went to the prep school. I went through freshman year, which is also like tough because you're constantly like you're the lowest of the low, and like you're the newbies, and you got, you know, you're treated like you're hazed, treated like trash, and it's like in certain aspects. No, don't get me wrong. There's some good moments, but for the most part, freshman year is tough. It's trash. And then, you know, don't destroy me in the comments or whatever, because at the end of the day, I still have friends that go there. I still respect it, but I'm just expressing my opinion. I'm expressing, you know, what I went through and how I feel about it. You know, y'all, you can make your own YouTube videos and say however you feel. But anyway, as I continue, went to the prep school, went through freshman year, went all the way through sophomore year, and at the end of that, well, actually at the beginning, it just started getting tough, and I went to my air officer commander one day because I was physically exhausted, because I was constantly, you know, because I'm just with the stresses of basketball. Then, you know, school, I had to stay on top of my schoolwork, so I'd be coming in late from basketball practice and then have to worry about school. So that was really tough for me. I'm an overachiever, so it's like I want to do well. I want to look good on paper. I want to feel good when I get my grades back. I'm not the type to be like, oh, you know, I failed this one, but I'll do better next time. No, it's like I need to do well on this, so I won't have to like play catch up type thing. And so yeah, I'd be up hours, nights where I wouldn't go to sleep till 2-3 in the morning, knowing I gotta wake up in a couple of hours for morning accountability information and do the same thing over and over again. So like that's what got to me mentally, like that constant cycle of just being tired. I was, you know, I'm sleep deprived. I was like, I needed a break. So I went to my Air Force commander at the time, Major Dylan J. Monaghan, who's now like Lieutenant Colonel Dylan J. Monaghan, who by the way still works at the Air Force Academy. I even wrote a letter to the Commandant of Cadets. I doubt she's read up on my story at all, because he's still employed, which he shouldn't. He shouldn't be in charge of cadets which I'm about to get to. So I went to him, I said, you know, hey sir, I'm really overwhelmed. I'm going through a lot right now. You know, I'm not feeling like myself. I don't think I'm capable of going through classes this morning. And the reason why I had to do that is because it's not like a normal school. You can't just you know, not show up to class. Like, you got to give an excuse type thing. And a lot of my, you know, I could have went to the hospital. But I'm really like, I like to have like that one-on-one like contact. Like, I want to be real with you when I'm going through something. I want to tell you that I'm, you know, what I'm going through type thing. And you know, I thought, you know, since he's my Air Office commander, he's supposed to care about us. And I had that conversation with him. It went left, like this flew over him. He wasn't ready for this. I guess he wasn't prepared or understanding of someone just feeling overwhelmed mentally, emotionally, and physically. Like, your girl was tired, man. Like, I was going through it. I told him that, and this man looks at me and he's like, well, I really can't give you bed rest unless you're, you know, and I was like, are you trying to tell me, like, are you trying to say, like, unless I'm suicidal? He's like, yeah. This man told me that I couldn't get a day of rest unless I was suicidal. How was that supposed to make me feel? And I wasn't about to let him try to, twist how I felt, and making me feel like, oh, that's what it takes for me to, get a day of rest. No, I'm not suicidal. I just need a day of rest. I just need a break, man. And when he told me that, I was just like, he doesn't get it. He told me I had an hour to get ready for classes, and that I still had to go. And like, literally, I was heartbroken. Literally, like, everything in me was just like, damn, like, I thought, like, I could trust dude. I thought he was gonna understand. I thought he was gonna give me a break. Like, I've been going through, like, I know all cadets go through, their own level of BS, but like, I needed him in that moment, and because he was the only person, like, I had to, like, in that moment I felt that I could go to, didn't help me at all. He was not showing good leadership. As a major in the United States Air Force, he failed me. He didn't have my best intentions at heart, and I'm wondering, had I been, a white female cadet or a white male cadet, I wonder what his answer would have been. But that's another topic. I'm probably gonna get some flack for that, but I'm just saying, because me and one of my best friends who no longer goes there either anymore, he was telling me about how there was these two girls in my squadron who would always get bed rest because they were either sick or had some type of issues going on, and he never gave them any problems. And they're, matter of fact, they're roommates. And if you, and like, I have people who can vouch for me on that as well. So, but this is all things that I'm finding out later, mind you. But anyway, I was going through my own thing, going through the stress of, having to continue the cycle and not getting a break in any area. And so, fast forward 2 weeks, I'm just going through the motions, unhappy, going to practice, going to school, doing my military duties, just day after day after day after day. And there was just one day I just hit my breaking point. I was like, you know what, I can't do it. Like, I'm not going to class. So I should have just, stayed asleep or whatever. I shouldn't have just kept it to myself type thing, and just, see whether or not they realized if I was there or not. But I sent an email to my instructors, and I was like, hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to be in class today. Very respectfully, da-da-da, cadet so-so. One of my teachers emailed me back, and they're like, oh, that's fine. Just make sure to CC your ALC. She CC'd them. Next thing you know, I got, one of my cadet leadership calling me and was like, you need to meet me right now because, you're getting informally clarified, which is like the whole honor process. They don't tolerate lying or anything like that. So at this point in my head, I was like, I'm about to get on probation for this. And sure enough, fast forward, he said that, his conscience wasn't clear, that I didn't break the honor code, didn't show any pity, didn't show any understanding, that he was the one who put me in a situation where I felt like my back was against the wall, where I felt like I couldn't, seek help type thing, and where I felt like I had to take it upon myself. So literally, I was desperate at that point. And yeah, he didn't have any mercy, so I ended up getting on 6 months probation. And matter of fact, he was one of the people who I had to speak to, like, for my rehabilitation process, because the probation is like 6 months of like writing journals about, ooh, how can I become a better person? How can, what could I have done differently? It's like a lot of self-evaluation for 6 months. By the way, the whole time I was going through rehabilitation and meeting with the AOC, who couldn't recognize that that my mental health was suffering, the academy never once made him go to like mental health training. Like, they never once made him go through training to become a better leader and to identify mental health problems more. Matter of fact, the whole time I was going through the honor probation process, when I had to meet with a panel who actually put me on probation, never once did they say, oh, we need to get this problem fixed. Oh, what happened to you will never happen to anyone else, because we will make sure like your leader is in charge of you, will be able to identify. Never once did that happen. So this whole time I'm the one receiving rehabilitation, which in the end, it lesson learned. But was the lesson learned from him? I don't think so. To meet with different people in my squad, so different people know my business, and then also I got to meet with my AOC, the man who didn't understand what I was going through then, didn't try to understand what it is like to be a cadet at the Air Force Academy and be an IC and deal with family issues and be young. You know what I'm saying? He didn't graduate from the Air Force Academy, so we got people in leadership positions over cadets in the Air Force Academy. Yeah, they're officers, but you didn't go through what I'm going through. You weren't constantly under like 24-hour watch and under regulations and rules, and you don't have classmates looking you up and down and saying like you're wrong because of this, or you need to be doing this, or you're supposed to be doing this, you're out of regs, what's up with your this and that type thing. So it was crazy. So anyway, fast forward, I make it probably to like the 5th month of my probation strong, and then finals kicked up. So I'm worried about finals. I'm not worried about turning in certain journals at the time. Yeah, I could have been more responsible, I guess, in that aspect, but I was worried about passing my classes. And so I fell behind on some of the assignments for my probation, and so they extended it. They could have put me up for disenrollment at that point, but they just extended my probation. Then I went on leave, so I wasn't away from the academy, and I wasn't able, I had traveled out of the country, and at the time I wasn't like able to do my work there either. So and I let my my cadet leadership know, and this was the thing, that's not even what I got another extension for. So when I came back, they make you do like this military training, because you don't have the whole summer off. You get like 3 periods. One leave, or one you can use for academic, or you can use it for leadership, or you can do 2 leadership in 1 class, or you can do 2 classes, but you got to be back for 2 periods out of the 3 periods, right? And so I come back and I'm scheduled to do like a leadership job, but when you're on probation, you're not allowed to do a leadership job. I didn't realize that, because I'm communicating with my cadet leadership and I'm telling her, hey, this is what I'm doing. Hey, I'm coming back and I'm going to this and such training day. She was like, yeah, okay, cool, I understood. But she's the same one who extended my probation because I ended up doing my military leadership program, and it was really just walking around other cadets in the woods. Like, I wasn't doing anything special or whatever. But anyway, this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you guys this to say, like, you really, one, don't sign any documents that you haven't fully understood or read over. Two, and you don't really, you see something, you feel something that's off, change them, ask for another cadet leadership, because there was something off about it, and I knew it, I felt it, but it wasn't until I got put up for disenrollment where I decided to leave. I was like, this is too much. it got to the point where, you know, it's the summer. I'm feeling depressed. I'm in a room where, I'm back at the academy. I just came back from leave. I was with my family, having a good time. Coming back, I got to deal with, you know, all the BS. Just all the BS of this probation. I still got to do journals. I still got to do meetings with people, and it's like I was tired of it. So anyway, I ended up getting food off base because I don't think I had eaten that day, and so I went out with some of my with two of my close friends and another girl who I really hadn't been around, who I wasn't really close to, who I wasn't really fond of, and she ended up putting me on her social media, and I believe it was took a screenshot or someone who knew I was on a probation and didn't really like care for me. They took a screenshot, and so like the next day when I thought I was gonna argue my probation sentence down, for not being extended, because I had informed Hamby that I in fact was going to trainings for a military leadership position that she was saying that I wasn't even allowed to have. But yeah, she trapped me, man. I got in there. Were you at Waffle House at such and such date, or were you off base? And I was like, well, like in my head, I was like, at that point, it's like when someone asks you the question like that, it's like, yeah, I did. I was at Waffle House eating waffles. Like, it's not like I'm doing anything bad, but like at the time, I wasn't allowed to go off base or what have you. But I did go off base, and at that point, I had been on probation for almost. Probation's supposed to be like 6 months, right? I was on it from October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. That's 8 months. Probation is only 6 months. The whole time I was restricted. So it's just like, and for me to be put up for a disenrollment for the Waffle House run, and then even if I wasn't kicked out of the Air Force Academy, then I would have to serve another probation. In my head, and for me, it wasn't worth it. The way I was feeling, it wasn't worth it. I was losing weight because of stress. I wasn't feeling like myself, and it just wasn't worth it. All because an officer in charge who is trusted to take care of of his cadets didn't do his job. And that's unfortunate, and I just wanted to share with you guys my story, because maybe someone out there needs to hear that. Be precautious, do your research, get connected, understand where people are coming from. If you get moved into a squadron with the AOC who's off, try to get moved out. Like, do all you can, fight for yourself, because a lot of the times they just feed you to the wolves, and it's like it is what it is type thing, and that it's your fault and you're responsible type thing. And it's just like, had I been in another squad, had it been someone else, this wouldn't have happened. So again, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed in the Air Force Academy, and I'm disappointed in my leadership. I'm disappointed in Lieutenant Colonel Dylan Monaghan, and but everyone who's out there doing their thing at the Air Force Academy, I'm proud of you guys. I want you guys to succeed. I want you to keep your head up and become great officers and make a difference in someone's life. All right, that's it.